In a world where the sun never rises, a perpetual twilight cloaked the land of Umbria. The sky was a canvas of deep purples and blues, dotted with stars that seemed to whisper ancient tales. The land was ruled by shadows, and the people lived in a constant state of alertness, for the darkness brought with it both mystery and danger. In this somber world lived a young boy named Simon. Simon was not like the other children. He was brave, curious, and had a heart full of dreams. His constant companion was a loyal dog named Gabe, a golden retriever with eyes that seemed to glow with wisdom. Together, they roamed the darkened forests and silent streets, always seeking adventure. One evening, as Simon and Gabe explored the outskirts of their village, they stumbled upon a group of soldiers preparing for a dangerous mission. The soldiers spoke in hushed tones about an impending threat from the shadow beasts, creatures of darkness that terrorize the land. The leader of the soldiers, Captain Eric, noticed Simon and Gabe and approached them. "Young Simon, we could use your courage and keen senses on this mission," Captain Eric said. "Will you join us?" Simon nodded without hesitation, and Gabe barked in agreement. The mission was to infiltrate the heart of the Shadow Beast's territory and retrieve a sacred artifact that could bring light back to Umbria. As they ventured deeper into the dark forest, the atmosphere grew tense. The trees seemed to whisper warnings, and the shadows danced menacingly. Simon felt a chill run down his spine, but he pressed on, determined to help his new comrades. Gabe stayed close by his side, his presence a comforting beacon in the darkness. The group soon encountered their first obstacle, a pack of shadow beasts blocking their path. These creatures were monstrous, with glowing red eyes and bodies that seemed to absorb the light around them. The soldiers drew their weapons, but Simon knew that brute force alone would not be enough. "Stay back," Simon shouted. "Gabe and I will distract them." With a nod from Captain Eric, Simon and Gabe charged forward, weaving through the trees and drawing the shadow beasts away from the group. Gabe's barks echoed through the forest, and Simon's heart pounded in his chest. They led the beast on a wild chase, giving the soldiers the opportunity to slip past unnoticed. After what felt like an eternity, Simon and Gabe managed to lose the beasts and rejoin the soldiers. They continued their journey, but the closer they got to the heart of the shadow beast's territory, the more dangerous it became. The air grew colder, and an oppressive silence settled over them. Finally, they reached a clearing where the sacred artifact was hidden. It was a glowing orb, pulsating with a soft, warm light. As Captain Eric reached for it, a massive shadow beast, larger and more terrifying than any they had encountered, emerged from the darkness. The soldiers fought valiantly, but the beast was too powerful. In the chaos, Simon saw an opportunity. He whispered to Gabe, who nodded in understanding. With a deep breath, Simon ran towards the orb, dodging the beast's attacks. Gabe followed, barking furiously to distract the creature. Simon reached the orb and grasped it tightly. As he did, a blinding light erupted from it, illuminating the entire clearing. The shadow beast roared in pain and retreated into the darkness. The soldiers cheered, but their victory was short-lived. Simon had been gravely injured in the struggle. Captain Eric and the soldiers rushed to Simon's side. Gabe whined softly, licking Simon's face. The young boy's eyes fluttered open, and he managed a weak smile. "You did it, Simon," Captain Eric said, his voice choked with emotion. "You saved us all." Simon nodded, his strength fading. "Promise me. You'll protect Umbria," he whispered. "We will," Captain Eric vowed. "Your bravery will never be forgotten." As Simon closed his eyes for the last time, the orb's light spread across Umbria, driving away the darkness and bringing a new dawn. The sun rose for the first time in centuries, bathing the land in warmth and hope. Gabe stood vigil by Simon's side, his eyes reflecting the new light. The soldiers carried Simon's body back to the village, where he was honored as a hero. His sacrifice had brought light back to Umbria, and his name would be remembered for generations. In the end, Simon's courage and loyalty had not only saved his fellow soldiers but had also brought an end to the eternal night. The people of Umbria would forever be grateful to the young boy and his faithful dog, whose bravery had illuminated their world. And so, In a world where the sun never rises, a new dawn had come, thanks to the selfless acts of a boy named Simon and his loyal companion, Gabe.